A very good morning, good evening, and a warm welcome to you all. I, Dr. Cindy De Silva, on behalf of the Department of Psychology of DCT's Dempe College of Arts and Science, Miramar, Goa, welcome you all today for the webinar on cyber safety. We are pleased to have such an overwhelming response from you all. Thank you for participating. A few announcements before we begin with the session. Requesting all the participants to switch off their cameras and mute their microphones during the session. Kindly post your questions in the chat box as the resource person will discuss the same towards the end of this session. Feedback link will be posted in the Google Meet chat box as well as in the YouTube live chat section at the end of the session. Once again, on behalf of Department of Psychology of DCT's Dempe College of Arts and Science, I warmly welcome you all. Children and adolescents must be educated about the proper use of technology and social media from the very beginning, as children can be the biggest threat to other children's safety online as well as their own. More so, with the online classes coming into the picture, the students are constantly hooked on their electronic gadgets throughout the day, which increases their exposure to potential risks of online abuse and exploitation. Cyber offenses against children are spreading and diversifying as new methods are used to harass, abuse, and exploit children. Therefore, it is the need of the hour for the teachers to help these young minds to be aware of their legal rights and responsibilities when using social media and mobile devices to avoid being a victim of crime or an offender. With an objective to reduce the cyber crimes, Department of Psychology of the city's Dempe College of Arts and Science, in collaboration with the Cyber Wellness Center, has taken an initiative to create an awareness among teachers about the prevalence of cyber crimes, its impact, and what cyber safety measures can help curb these crimes. With this, we hope that the teachers can then guide the students to save themselves from cyber crimes. I would now like to request our resource person, Ms. Nikita Goswami, trainer at Cyber Wellness Center, to take over the session. Ms. Goswami, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. I shall begin the session right now. I'm just sharing the screen. Okay. A very good morning, everyone. My name is Nikita Goswami. I am a trainer at Cyber Wellness Center. We'll be talking about the different types of crimes that happen online. At times, students do it knowingly and unknowingly. First, I will introduce a little about Cyber Wellness Center. So, Cyber Wellness Center is based in Santini's Panjim. We do free of cost services here. We provide psychological counseling. So, if there is some online distress that the children are facing, some cyberbullying, harassment, or economic fraud that has led an adult feel depressed and they really require the help with a counselor, so we provide counseling here. We do screening treatment. So, if some uh, individual wants to know their level of dependency on internet and how it can affect their life, we also do the screening here. If after screening it is found that the person is like in serious category of the addiction, then we also do the treatment. We do technical support, that is we provide IT support. Some crime happens online, and if you really want to figure out how to report online, what are the things that you can expect, what are the evidence that you may require, or what questions that you may encounter, we provide the guidance for them. We also do education programs. We go to different schools, colleges, we talk about the different types of crimes, and all these services are free of cost. So today's world has evolved greatly. These icons, especially after Corona, have become like a very major part of our lives. Nowadays, our world of internet is constantly evolving. A lot of changes have come after lockdown. Internet has been a blessing during lockdown. It has helped us get over the problems that we had during that time, that we weren't able to socialize normally. We were limited to the space of our own homes. It has been a blessing during the time of lockdowns, but there has also been some cons that has followed up. Internet has continued the education during the time of lockdown, catered to our needs. But during this time, a lot of crimes have also shifted online. पहले होता था कि there would be movies like शोले, where there would be a डाकू named गब्बर जो आता था गांव लूट के जाता था. आजकल तो क्राइम्स भी ऐसे होते हैं कि आपको एक लिंक भेजा जाता है, लिंक पे क्लिक किया जा, आप कर लेते हो, कुछ क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाते हैं और बैंक अकाउंट पूरा साफ कर दिया जाता है. तो आजकल की दुनिया में क्राइम्स की जानकारी, दैट इज द बीइंग अवेयर अबाउट द क्राइम्स दैट हैपन ऑनलाइन इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. बिकॉज कुछ क्राइम्स ऐसे हैं दैट वी कमिट एंड वी डोंट रियलाइज दैट इट इज एक्चुअली अ क्राइम. So, cyber violence against children are increasing a lot, especially after lockdown. What has happened? Lockdown has increased the exposure of children to internet. It had become an important part of their education and curriculum. अगर पढ़ाई करनी थी तो इंटरनेट के सिवा कोई और रास्ता नहीं था. But what had happened with the unlimited access towards phone, they had gone online on social medias, made up friends. A lot of time, a crime that happens a lot with kids is that they are often trapped by this so-called friends who pretend to be 13-year-old, 14-year-old, at times 15, 17 years old. And you talk they talk to them in their own languages. You know how a 16-year-old talks is way more different than a 26-year-old. So make friends with them, and then after a period of time, children have a misconception that if I have a friend online for more than, say, a month or a year, they cannot be fake. Like, एक साल से मेरा कोई दोस्त है तो वो फेक हो ही नहीं सकता. But we have found researches and confirmed out cases where people have been friends for 7 years online and they have turned out to be fake. Often what happens, these fake friends, after forming a strong relationship with children, earning their trust, they make them believe that they should meet up, that they are excited to see them. Often what happens to follows this is a kidnapping. Or another thing, they usually trap the children is by asking the children to give them the nudes. So for them it is they don't really hesitate to spend years together, because the uh, how do I say this, the value of these nudes on the dark web or the deep web where these images are sold is really high. Another way how cyber crimes, while cyber violences of rights happen against children, is children are not really aware about that sending these pictures is not appropriate. What happens, they brainwash them into believing them it is very normal behavior, everyone does it. They often share their nudes and they ask for the child's news. This is all a violence of a child's rights, which the IT Act states. Some other crimes that follow are hacking. So often we receive, if you have come across, I am certain most of you have received links from Jungly Rummy or similar apps. Download this app or check your online what do you say this, check your online loan eligibility. At times the links are saying check this new app out or participate in kaun banega crorepati. Then there is a link sent out. Often we always believe that money is the most important thing for us, but our data is another level of currency that has become crucial in the time of internet. What happens are, especially our contacts, they are more sensitive information, because often if you see, you have never shared your numbers with any scammers, but they have somehow received it and you get scam calls. So how do they receive these numbers? Often one method is that they send these links out to you. You click on the link, your contacts are directly exported without you being aware to the person who has sent you the link. Okay, and these contacts are later sold on the dark web. Even children are involved nowadays in hacking, because if you ask some children around, they would definitely reveal to you that they are involved in hacking the codes of games like GTA or Free Fire, for that matter. Earning that unlimited gold coins and diamonds have become a new craze altogether. They don't realize that hacking is a crime. It is 3 years of imprisonment and a fine of 2 lakhs. It's a very serious crime. Another thing about hacking is even hacking someone's device. It is basically stealing. Even hacking someone's device, it may be a neighbor, okay, is a serious offense. Often they don't realize that अगर हम अपने बाजू वाले अंकल के वाईफाई का पासवर्ड हैक कर रहे हैं, so what's a big deal? But if that uncle files a case, then it really does, it will get report, it will be getting reported. Another thing about hacking, how is it is happening, when I went to one of the schools, they revealed that the principal had got a call. So this cases are coming up a lot, so happening in Goa. So okay, a similar case was shared to us by the principal saying that he got a call from a water department saying that they urgently need to pay the bills or the water connection will be cut off. So since the principal was out of town, he had no idea that maybe okay the bill was remaining. So he went ahead and he asked the person what he does need to do. So the person was like, you need to download an app. So these apps were apps like AnyDesk were created to take remote access to your phones and devices. Okay, so suppose you live in Goa and you don't have any IT expert around who could help you with filing, who can help you with fixing of your phone if there is some issues going in your devices. So what you do? You contact a person in say Bangalore and ask them to repair your phone. So once the person from Bangalore says you download this app so I can take remote access, so they can make some software changes in your phone, check if there is some issues going out. So they can practically, your phone is mirrored in their devices, so they can see exactly what is happening in your phone. So the same app was told to be downloaded by this principal, but since he wasn't aware that it was a remote access app, he downloaded it, and then the person asked for the code that was present in that app, and the principal gave away. So once the person did that, he told that you have to pay 10 rupees of service tax. So the principal went ahead, and whichever bank account he had given, he made a payment of 10 rupees. So when he was making the payment of 10 rupees, he put the code in. So moment the code was put in, what had happened, that the person who was seeing the as in the password, so the person who was seeing the activities of the principal on his phone, he got to know the password. Instantly he made a transaction of 90,000 and cut the call. And principal later found complained and made all the procedures go ahead, but still that case is there. So things like this happen often. You don't really realize that you may be hacked. In fact, once a professor who was traveling, he had connected his phone to the Wi-Fi of a airport. So this is again a true case that happened with a professor. So what has happened that once he boarded the flight, okay, he had put his phone off and he had let it be. Once he got down from the flight, she was shocked to see that the 28 lakhs rupees bitcoins that were present in his phone were transferred to another account. Okay, so how that happened was that when he connected to the public Wi-Fi of an airport, on airport, what happens? It's an international terminal, so figuring out who hacked your device where becomes very difficult, and especially public Wi-Fi's are like highways to your phone. So hacking them, making changes in your phone becomes really very easy. Do not as much as possible. I won't say do not, but as much as possible, avoid linking your phones to any public Wi-Fi's where you feel that it may get hacked or it is not safe. Okay, same thing applies to airports also, because that is an international terminal. So figuring out exactly from where the criminal came, where he left, becomes really very difficult. A case happening in Goa, another thing that is happening a lot with the hacking is that often people create fake profiles on Instagram, and reach out to their relatives. So suppose they create my account with the name Nikita, and they reach out to my relatives saying that I am in hospital, I require urgent money. If you get any messages like this on Instagram, okay, please call that person normally and verify once, because there have been cases where people have made transactions of 50,000, 80,000, and the person ahead has been a complete fake person. So the accounts were hacked of the people, and then the demands of the money were made. So they thought that they were actually helping their friend or a relative, but it turned out to be someone else. So another thing, when you ever receive a link, check for HTTPS. So every link begins with HTTPS. If in that the S is missing, do not open the links. Chances are it has some virus. So what happens when your website is verified? and it is assured that there will be no viruses getting downloaded in your phone. That is when that S is placed in a link. So assure that any link that you get sent by a friend, unknown person, or just a job offer, check for the S. Another crime that happens a lot online is online gambling. So gambling is illegal in India, but what has happened, they have changed the name. So they no longer call it gambling, they say that we are game of chances. So you basically take a chance with the game. So people who play gambling they know that what happens when you play this when you try this games, they have practice rounds. So the first four practice rounds, or whatever times you're playing this practice rounds, they are just there to build your confidence. So by the time you're playing for the like sixth or seventh time the practice rounds, you're pretty certain that yes, forget about money, you give me land, I'll play with that. You're that's certain. A teacher had revealed to me after my session in a school that he had lost an amount of 28 lakhs after the session. I mean, after lockdown. So what had happened was that he downloaded the game. Okay, so he pretty much thought that when he is playing the game, he was the one in control. But that's not so. So one thing about online gambling is that they are very addictive. If you see their ads, they also say that the game can be addictive. But they say it so fast that by the time you finish that morning, it's already gone up. So the same thing had happened. The person started playing the game. So initially it was very easy. He was like, the first 4 days I won roughly around 4 lakhs, then I lost, then I won. So when he lost, it was like I have to get my money back, and when he won, it was like okay, I have to double the money. So in that entire circle, he had lost an amount of 28 lakhs. Because of this vicious circle and the addiction, people often lose a lot of money. Children are falling prey to these games a lot because the ads usually, if you see, they make it believe so easily, that you can make people believe that it is easy to earn money. It is easy to double your money. Children often get involved. They At times there have been cases where they have robbed their own houses, have got involved in drug peddling cases. So hence to be mindful about online gambling. Fake account, again another crime, has 3 years of imprisonment and a fine of 2 lakhs. So if you create a fake account, and depending on the severity of the crime that is committed using that fake account, this punishment is handed out. Often a lot of criminals use these accounts to trap people, at times creating the fake account, like I said, of relatives, to reach out to people and take the money. At times it is to create a fake account about um, donation camps or things like that. Has very strict punishment. So how we have Aadhaar cards with a real name, similarly on social media it is very important that you give out your real name, not fake information. All your information listed on the account has to be true. Another thing, when you're creating accounts on any social media, we tend to do this thing that we make an account, okay, and it's floating there. Okay, we forget the password or something, so we try to retrieve, it doesn't happen, so we let it be there, we create another account. Please do not do that, because often these floating accounts are then hacked by hackers and used it, and your account is your responsibility. So what happens is that if that account is ever misused in future, you will be held accountable, yet you will be brought into questioning. Hence, go online, check if you have any floating accounts, or if someone has made your fake account. Often what has happened, it has been discovered that people who are not on social media, even their accounts are being made on social media by some other person. So stalking is another crime that happens a lot. Stalking is basically following someone online. So this crime is basic. Just a minute. Hello. Yes, ma'am. Is there an issue? You called me, no? Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so stalking is another crime. So what happens here is that if there is someone is following you with the intention to harm you, harass you, bullies you, it has a punishment of 3 years of imprisonment and a fine of 2 lakhs. Again, how this fine of 50 to 70,000. How this crime works exactly is that I'll give you a case to better understand. So a mother had a public account. So if you have public account, kindly pay attention. So a mother had a public account. She would make post every second or third day about her daughter. She had a small 8 or 9 year old daughter. So about her, what she liked to eat, what she, which movies she liked to go, and all about that. So what had happened with this thing was that the mother went ahead and she started posting these videos on a regular basis as they started growing up following. So what followed was ahead was that the person who was in there was a person who was constantly seeing all this trend. So what happens with the public account, it is very difficult to monitor the people who are with public accounts. It becomes very difficult to who's going to your account with what intentions. So one day the same mother made a post saying that I am going to be late, my daughter is going to be so furious, I am going to show her reaction of me picking her up from the school after this video. So she ended up there because she was stuck in the traffic. She couldn't reach to the school on time. Okay. So she posted the video. What happened was instead of the mother reaching there where the daughter was waiting, a uncle reached. So he went to the daughter and he's like, "Hi, I'm your mom's friend." So the daughter initially was, as we all teach our children, that don't talk to strangers. If you don't go anywhere with them, don't eat anything that you say, that they give you. So what happened was this uncle then started saying that when the daughter refused to go out with him, that I have never seen you, I don't know you, I never met you, my mom never talked about you. So uncle started saying that, okay, if you don't know me, I will tell you about different things. I know you liked Frozen as your it is your favorite movie. I know Elsa is your favorite character. I know you want to become a princess when you grow up. I know this is the mall that you go to. I know this is where you live. Your father does this, your mom does this. So the daughter was like, okay, if he has so much information, then he has to be my mom's friend, right? So she went along with him and she was kidnapped. So these cases are constantly increasing. The amount of information we give on social media often tend to harm our own relationships and ourselves. So we don't really realize. A survey states that it only takes a person 7 minutes to figure out a person's personality based on the social media posts that they make. When we are happy, if you notice, a lot of people tend to put happy messages, or just a good morning message is going everywhere. If we are upset, like angry, we take our profile pictures down on WhatsApp, especially it happens a lot. If we are going out for a dinner, instead of tasting the food first, we are putting up the pictures. Often we also share our locations where we are. It happened with a boy also who was walking home after the school. So it's a real case. He was walking home after school and he was kidnapped on his way back because he had made a post saying that I'm going home alone, there is no one with me, and it was a public account. A teacher had also faced the repercussions of having a public account and sharing too much information is when she had gone out on a vacation and she made an announcement about it, that I'm going out on a vacation with my family, be ready for the spam. So she had announced it with her happiness, in her excitement, but she didn't realize, since it was a public account, monitoring the crowd becomes very difficult. So what had happened, when the teacher came back, she was shocked to see that the money was taken, the gold was taken, TV, fridge, sab leke gaye. The card that was not working, even that was taken. So these are some of the crimes that this is how some of the crimes take place online. So you may feel like I am just a normal person, no one really pays attention to me. Maybe no one does, but the criminals do. Hence, limit the sharing of the information when you're going out, especially. Once you come back, maybe then you can definitely do it. It's more safer that way. Similar rules needs to be established with the children. Photomorphing is another crime. So photomorphing is basically editing the pictures, not exactly a crime, but becomes a crime when done with the wrong intention. To understand it better, I'll give you a case of a school. So, what had happened, online classes were going on. A child would join and he would create some disturbance. So because it was a fake ID, so the teacher couldn't really pinpoint which child it was. So she got, after 2 3 warnings, she got fed up. He wouldn't stop, so she threw him out of the class. So he got so angry. He went on the teacher's social media, took the picture, morphed it with a nude image, and created a fake Facebook ID and started uploading there. So he didn't realize that all those posts were traceable back to him. So when he was arrested and brought into questioning by the police, the teacher was shocked to see that it was a seventh standard boy of her own class. So what had happened was the boy had in his anger and angst, in his anger and revenge, he didn't realize that what crime he was committing. So he had morphed the pictures with a he had morphed her teacher's pictures with nude images. So it was a straight 7 years of imprisonment with a fine of 10 lakhs. So parents had no idea that the child had committed a crime like this. So what had happened, the boy would often ask for phone, the parents would give the phone thinking that he's playing games, and the boy would go in his own room and do his own things. So the parents never really monitored what activities he went through. So the parents begged the teacher, they told her to take the case back, to not go ahead with it. But what had happened, that if they said that if you want to expel him, do whatever. So the teacher with a very big heart, she took the case back. But not all children are that lucky, so it has to be instilled when we are giving phones. होता है ना कि phone दे दिया, responsibilities खत्म. But that's not how things work. When you give the phone, it is when your responsibility increased twice. Another crime that happens a lot is fake news. Any news that is spread against a particular culture, religion, or any news that or announcement that you feel is true and you share it, okay, you need to verify it first. Why is that so? Another case I'm going to tell you. It happened during the time of the corona. The news that if you drink sanitizer, your corona will be cured, was spreading like anything on WhatsApp. So people kept on forwarding. Forget about forwarding, there were people who ended up drinking sanitizer and died, and all the people who had forwarded the news were brought into the questioning by the police once the case was reported. Hence, if you are found to be forwarding any news that is not true, and it may lead to cause harm, because when you forward any news that is against a certain religion, caste, often it doesn't happen in Goa, but in if you see in states like Maharashtra and Rajasthan, there have riots taken place because of too much WhatsApp forwards. So if you want to verify whether the news is true or not, copy paste the news on Google, see if any similar announcements have been made by the government. If not, kindly refrain from sharing the news. Another crime is cyber terrorism. So a lot of people have joined groups online. Okay, they are randomly added in WhatsApp groups, so you're not really certain which groups you're joining in, but this group you have, like you're randomly added in a group of say 500, but you don't even know a single person. Okay, at times this groups ends to be the terrorist groups. Okay, so again, if you are found to be linked with a terrorist online, it is a lifetime imprisonment with no bail. So once it's proven, the the case is done for. So what happens if you are like added in these groups? It's better if you leave, because what happens when you stay in these groups, they give you molded fake information, make you work against your own country. Cyberbullying is another crime. So often people get very they think like, especially children, when they grow join groups like games like PUBG में मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ कि गोलियों से ज्यादा गालियां चलती है. They curse a lot in these games. They think that online games, with the aggression, cursing someone, bullying someone, even in the heat of the moment, saying something, it is okay. That being angry, being insensitive, giving comments like just go and die, it's all right. But that's not the true case. It is very important that you make children aware about cyberbullying, because often these cases lead to children going in depression. They withdraw completely when they are bullied, and these are some effects that follow. Again, very serious crime, has 2 years of imprisonment and a fine of 3 lakhs. So how do you help your child, if or the student, if there is some cyberbullying happening? Do not react to the conversation first of all. Often children have this thing ना, सामने से कोई दो गालियां दे रहा है, हम चार लौटाएंगे interest के साथ. Tell them not to do that. it is very important that they are taught that do not react to the person, because it is the bully mentality. They just want a reaction out of you. Take the screenshot of the conversation and instill in them that whenever some bullying happen or someone is harassing them online, it is very important that they tell a trusted adult. It could be a teacher, parent, counselor, anyone, if they are below 18. Once that happens, the person needs to be reported on the social media. Okay, so it's WhatsApp, then you can report him on WhatsApp. But before reporting, make a point to take the screenshot, because you will require them. After that, if the person doesn't continue ahead, then that's fine. But if the person keeps on changing the account, keeps on bullying, keeps on harassing, and you feel like it is getting too much, you cannot, the people can, the child can no longer deal with it, then it is important that the parent and the child go to the local police station and file a complaint. With the screenshots, this is where they come in question, because the police will first thing ask you for is the evidence. Okay, online banking frauds. Okay, these are some cyber economics frauds that happen a lot. Online banking frauds. Check your loan eligibility, or some person who's imitating to be your bank, asking for your UPI pins, ATM pins or OTP numbers. Please do not share. We all know that this information is sensitive. Do not download any apps, when it is requested on call by someone, say water department, electricity department. Remember, all the legal authorities, okay, they will give you a time of 7 to 18 days, even a month at times, when they are talking about cutting the water supply or electricity supply. Okay, they give you enough time to get back to them. The worst thing about a cyber criminal is they would just try to put you in panic, because when you are panicked, you do not think clearly. Often people have received emails from their bank saying that if you don't pay this amount, the account will be frozen. That is not true. Okay, at times what happens, the email may look as true or as real as the bank email, but maybe chances are it is fake. You better go once, verify to the manager, talk to him, but do not make any transaction, especially if it is a call or a email that has come to you, because there have been cases that are coming in where these fake emails are being sent by people. Phishing, smishing, and spoofing. This is basically messaging, emailing again to get your information. Has very strict rules. It comes under hacking. Has 3 years of imprisonment and a fine of 2 lakhs. Lottery scams. Amitabh Bachchan का KBC हो या कोई और gaming platform हो, you have your number, your Pepsi Cola number has won. Your phone has won Pepsi lottery or Cola well lottery, or at times even KBC lottery. You have to make a transaction of 25,000 so we can send that 5 crore back to you. All fake. Never true, because when you give out this information and then money, the people disappear. Often what happens, they give you loan, if they say that they'll give you the money, all you need to do is give your information. Please do not do this, because this information is then sold on the dark web and the deep web. Mobile data hacking. Okay, do not link your phones, like I said, to any public Wi-Fi's where you feel it is not safe, because like I said, it is very easy to hack and do it once you link it somewhere. Credit debit card frauds. Again, we are going to give you credit card, debit cards. They ask for information. Do not reveal any sensitive information, because even this calls are coming a lot. Loan frauds, they happen usually two ways. They offer you loan, or they at times offer and give you the money. But once you take the money from there, the interest rate that they ask for you is like way more than the original amount. Job scams are also coming in. So this often you don't really apply for the jobs, but there are offers coming in like 50,000 a day. So if it is too good to be true, chances are it's not true. Okay, do not fall for things like this. Okay, at times they send you a link, check this job offer, and remember, no matter how tempting the job may sound, always look for HTTPS. If that S is missing, do not open it. Okay, so a lot of games online are coming in. Okay, so what happens with online games is that how we have a age for playing, how we have a age limit for voting, like you have to be 18 to vote. Similarly, all these games have a age limit. So PUBG has an age limit of 16, Valorant has 16, GTA has 17, Call of Duty has 18. So what has happened more often than not when you are playing these games, children, if you see, PUBG is played by even fifth standard people. Okay, so what happens when such young minds play the games? There are some phenomena that occur because these games are so violent. If you see, they are constantly killing and shooting someone. If you see, no child plays for less than 2 hours. Okay, so what happens when when they are constantly exposed to this amount of violence, paying attention to classes, studying, even for that matter, any adult who's 18 and above, if or a a child who's playing these games for more than 2 hours, their attention span decreases. Imagine you're playing this stimulant games all the time, and then suddenly a book is given to you, study. It doesn't work. You cannot go back to your studies because your mind is still very much stimulated and accustomed to the games. Paying attention becomes really difficult. Your language takes a hit again, because when you're on platforms like PUBG, where cursive, how we have at the end of the sentence a full stop, similarly at the every end of the sentence they have a curse word that is following. So it makes them believe that cursing is very easy. Talking in that language is acceptable, being angry is acceptable, because you're shooting there. You get angry on one of the participants, you can just shoot the avatars off. Hence, if you see, when this gap between the reality and the virtuality, that the real world is different and the virtual world is different, starts diminishing, there comes a point where cases come up where children have ended up killing their parents because they didn't get access to their phones. So these cases actually happen when this gaming takes a severe form, because they are constantly exposed to such violence. They feel like killing is okay because I'm already doing it, right? It may be online, but that's what I'm doing. So killing is okay, like hitting people is okay, being angry is okay, which is not really true. Hence, if you want to verify if a game is appropriate for you or your child or a student, you can go on this website. It's www.pegipeggy.info. So once you go on this website, put the name of the game, check if it is meant for that particular age group. So, threats on online gaming, like I said, exposure to extreme violent and explicit content. So, even young children get exposed to explicit content. There are some pop ups that come that are not meant for them, especially for games like GTA. Exposure to bullying, threats, or harassment. Again, self-harm and challenges. A lot of times when you're playing game and you lose it, there is this challenge that is followed up by the peers saying that take a selfie on the mountain. A similar thing had happened with a group of children where they were given a dare that they had to take a selfie on the cliff of a mountain. 14 children, college children, had set at the cliff of a mountain and trying to take the selfie. The first person leaned forward, trying to adjust the camera. He fell. Okay, in an attempt to catch him, protect him, the domino effect happened, and all the 14 died. Not one had saved. No matter how simple the challenge may seem, that okay, I'll just take a selfie, nothing will happen, but accidents happen all the time. You may not be aware of it. So these are some things that children are not aware. They just download the game, they just go ahead, they just go follow with the challenges. It is very important that when you give a phone to a child, you sit with them and talk and discuss this thing. Even when you're in the classes, when some topics arises, one topic leads to another, you can sit and discuss about these things that are going on online. Gaming especially has a lot of predators, because it is a bonding activity. When you're playing someone with someone, you're practically bonding with him, becoming friends with them. So it is a very easy mean to earn someone's trust, and often this trust is exploited by these predators, where they put children in crimes, for drugs, to make them watch porn and things like that. At times, low frustration tolerance is also something that follows gaming, that they become very easily frustrated. If you see, child is playing a game, try and take the phone from them. Easily frustrated, very easy to very easily they get angry. Sharp replies, they won't there are threats like मैं खाना नहीं खाऊंगा, and just 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes, and they never really end. Gaming addiction is another problem that may follow, that if the child is too much into gaming, he may get addicted towards it. Revengeful, often children who play violent games, they become revengeful. Low acceptance of failure, because in games what happens, you complete a level and you get the reward. That is the same mentality. They think that we should be getting that instant gratification in real life also. And when that doesn't happen, that anger, that low acceptance of failure, it causes some real damage. Often extreme reactions of aggression. Often they feel depressed, because they are constantly on their phones, cut off from all their social relationships. And sleep deprivation often follows because they are constantly on phone. So I'll play for 5 minutes more, so it's another like that. The By the time they sleep, it's like 4 in the morning. So, a few rules that you need to set up with your students or children is: do not link the banking cards with your gaming platforms. Remember, the aim of the gaming platform is to give you a good gaming experience, not to protect your money. So, whenever you link the banking cards, a case happened with a boy. He wanted to earn a gold coin back. He linked the card. First day there was a transaction of 300 that he wanted to do. Next day, there was a transaction of 3 lakhs that happened from the same account without anyone's permission, because what had happened, the gaming platform where the card was linked was hacked and the transaction had failed. See, the gaming platforms tend to save your information, which could be harmful towards your card. So, do not make a point that you pointed out the children that do not link the banking cards. Do not make any in-game purchases without parents permission. It is very important that they respect the people who are out there. Never meet anyone in real life, because their case happened with a girl. Was She was 8 years old and she was playing online game. She had a chat room there. There were 4 other 8-year olds who were playing with her in her own neighborhood. So she assumed that they were her neighbors because they told her that. And so for a very long time, they played together, and she invited them over. That come tomorrow, my parents are not them home. All five of us will play the games together. So what had happened, once the parents left, they reached. They are calling the girl's name, but she's not opening the door. Father forgot the wallet. He came back, and when he came back, he was shocked to see that that there were 4 men, 40 years old, standing outside calling the 8-year-old's name. He was very shocked to see that. But when he knocked the door, he called the girl out. He asked her, "Who are they?" She said, "I have no idea." So when he turned to ask those people, they ran away. Children assume, when we are safe at home, that they are safe at home, that it is a secure place, nothing bad could go wrong. So if my online friends come over, it should be safe. But that is not the case. If child is home alone, they do not hesitate to even reach there. So there have been cases where children have been kidnapped, sold out of state. So be very careful. Make a point that they do not invite any people online. Make a rule with them, they don't share any Discord links with server links with strangers, because Discord is a server where all the people join. It's a group activity where they talk and discuss about different things, often share their gaming links. So if a stranger gets connected to them, and if he's a hacker, then there are like 300 children in one group. So all those children are vulnerable to him. So no sharing Discord links with strangers. Multiplayer games need to be played only with people that they know in real life, not strangers. These are our pandemic families. This is how pandemic families look like after Corona. So what has happened? Our lives have become, revolving around phones. We no longer communicate much. A parent once told me after the parent session that if they have to call their child down, they have to text them, because they put the earphones in their ears and they play the music so loud and they are constantly on the phone playing that even you scream, they cannot hear it. Okay, age appropriate screen time introduction is very important, because what happened when you expose children to games at a very young age, their eyes take a hit. We tend to do this. A child is very small, okay, and he doesn't eat the food. You keep the phone in front of them, play the Peppa Pig, and be like, "Okay, baby, eat this bite." Or if they get addicted to the point, if you don't give them food, they don't eat. Okay, it's a very bad habit, not appropriate. I would say that, because what happens when you introduce children at a very young age to internet or phone, their eyes are very sensitive. Remember, their eyes grow really weak, especially when they are as young as 1 2 years old. Okay, please do not expose them to any of this uh, online games or things like that, or videos for that matter, YouTube. anything like that. Another thing that happens, that attention span diminishes. Remember that games or internet is constantly very colorful, very stimulating. So when you get them back to books, it becomes really difficult for them to focus. Okay, instant gratification is a need that develops into them, because if you see on internet, whatever they require is just a flick of finger away. Developing that core values, that you need to have patience, things that they cannot develop on internet. So these are the World Health Organization's rules. Under 2 years, like if your child is less than 2 years, you have to make sure that there is no screen exposure to them, no phone, no TV, nothing. So no one really follows this, but this is what the World Health Organization says is appropriate for children. Between 2 to 4 years, it is 20 minutes in 24 hours, including TV content is selected by parents. Okay, child is accompanied by a trusted adult, because like there is a lot of explicit content that goes on YouTube or TVs. Between 4 to 6, it is 40 minutes with adult monitoring. Okay, that is max in 24 hours. 6 to 12, it is 60 minutes. Now they can watch YouTube, they can watch TV, whatever it is, it has to be 60 minutes at the max. And 13 plus years, it is 2 hours at the max, even for us. Okay, if you're studying, that is a different thing altogether. You're doing your work, different thing altogether. But if you're doing any leisure activities, 2 hours is the maximum. Okay, pick up red flags. If you see that your child is withdrawing or constantly on phone, aggressive about some certain things, see if there is some change of behavior, pick up red flags, talk to them about them. Okay, if you see in your student that there are some changes coming about, what is the issue? Because a lot of times the issues are connected with internet and they really don't know whom to reach out to. Okay, social media anxiety disorder is another thing, where they feel that if they are not on social media, they're constantly missing something out. High risk behaviors, like taking high risk selfies just so that they can have an increased amount of followers. For that, to seek that attention, they know that constant need of attention seeking, they are ready to do anything. And often this leads to their low self esteem. Okay, social media legal age is, okay, you have to be a minimum of 13 to be on social media platforms, even if it is making a Google form, a Google account. WhatsApp has an age limit of 16. If you see, you have joined WhatsApp, or many children have joined before the age of 16. Okay, so that exactly becomes not exactly a crime, but yes, it is. Because what happens is that when you join at a very young age, you're giving a fake information, right? Because when you're putting your birth year or birth date, it is like date you put, month you put, and then you change the year. So it is not the true information you're giving, it becomes a fake account. Remember, WhatsApp is very important, I understand. So for younger children, if they require for school or colleges or whatever it is, and they are below 80, below 16, they can use their parents account. Another thing on internet, no matter what you do, okay, it may be a simple search, or even seeing a picture, liking something, sharing something, nothing ever gets deleted. Okay, no matter if it is disappearing mode, vanish mode, things are always present on internet. Even 10,000 down here, the even 10,000 years from now, if someone decides to unearth all these things, they can very easily do it. So be very mindful of what you're sharing on internet, because like I said, nothing ever gets deleted. When you delete something, it is just not visible to you. It is known as leaving a digital footprint behind. So these are the children that I was talking about, who were taking the selfies and they ended up dead. So the black shirt fell first and followed by the others. Another challenge that was taken up by the TikTokers, these two TikTokers who were supposed to make a video in front of a moving train, and some accident happened and they got crushed like under the train. So yes, so be very careful just to seek followers, or assure that children do not take some risks. So there is always a disconnect between children's real life and Instagram life. If you see, even if you notice in your students on Instagram, like this girl here, she is actually, the real life version is so different from that Instagram version. They show that they're cool, and so try to be the authentic person that you are on your social medias also, because more often than not, This disconnect creates low self-esteem in you. You know, accepting who you are is very crucial and very important, because when you don't, this becomes a vulnerability of yours and it is often exploited by people ahead. So, okay, unmindful online dating. So, a lot of children, you know, especially at the age of 15 to 17, have joined online dating apps. Even the college students often join this online dating apps of trying to have online relationship. Of con that what happens here is often the accounts, you know, the created are fake. Okay, so they may say that I am a say 18-year-old joining online and working here and here or whatever, but may turn up to be a 70-year-old or 50-year-old person. Okay, digital infidelity has increased. People have multiple girlfriends or boyfriends on, you know, these apps. Okay, so because what happens, you do sexting there, exchange nudes, things like that often take place. They do not realize that sharing these images is a crime on its own. Again, and often what happens, because it is online, so they get the perks of being in a relationship, but they do not have to take the responsibility. So it kinds of developed an addiction to cyber relationships. So be very mindful, check for the profiles of whom you're communicating online. Is the person authentic? No matter how, you know, good they may seem, dig up a little, figure it out if they are really true. Revenge porn and sextortion, like I said, usually in online relationship, they either share pictures that are nudes. Once the breakup happens, then pictures are used to, you know, harass the person ahead, that you need to pay this amount, or or these pictures will be publicized. Or at times they distort, morph your images with nude images and then start asking for money and sexual favors. Anything like this happens, please do not fall for it. Okay, they will say do this and I'll stop it. It doesn't work that way. Okay, the demands keeps on increasing. It is very crucial, if something like this has happened, or you know it has happened to another person, you know, convince them. It is very important that they report. There is no way, there is no way around it, because until and unless you report, the person won't be held responsible for his doings. They, what we usually do, we tell our best friends or some of a person we trust the most. But what happens, even when the child is young, say a 17-year-old or 16-year-old, the best friends are also of their age only, right? They can only do so much as they can do. So it is very important that a adult is informed in this case. Or if it is a college student, the parents are made aware that this is something like this has happened, that they need to go up and speak about it. So what often they have hesitation is, if you, I go and tell my parents, it may seem like I have done something wrong. But you need to realize that you have been manipulated. What the person ahead is doing is wrong. If they are shouting whatever, take the shouting for the while and please report, because not reporting here, especially when it comes to college student, there is no option. Okay, reporting is a must. Okay, if you have a young child or a young sibling, kindly pay attention. A lot of child online grooming is happening. So these people reach out to young children, okay, with who are online, pretend to be a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, and go and talk to them. Ask, at times develop a friendship. They are ready to do whatever the person is asking. So if a child is asking, say, I need help with my homework, they'll ready to help you with the homework. If the child wants a help with something else, they're ready to do. If they want money, they're ready to give. Why? Because at the end they require this pictures or videos of the children without their clothes on. That is basically nudes. This is known as child sexual abusive material. It's CSAM. Okay, a very serious crime, has 7 years of imprisonment and a fine of 10 lakhs, if I'm not wrong. Clicking these pictures and storing it in your phone is not allowed. Okay, for any of the content, because phones and devices are easily hackable. When the child creates these images and videos by themselves, it becomes self CSAM. If any child, you know, is being harassed, you know, with the for the pictures, or they have sent the pictures and now they are being blackmailed for them, it is important that the crimes like this get reported, because they often think if you do whatever they say, it will stop, but it doesn't. The demands keeps on increasing. Often there live streaming happens of sexual contents with the children, showing pornography images and videos to them. These are all content, they're all crimes and have very serious consequences. If something like this has happened, it is very important that you report. Okay. Cyber sex of porn addiction is another problem that is coming up. So a lot of times, people are getting forwarded to porn sites. Apart from it being illegal, you're not supposed to see. A new threat has come up that some of the porn sites have some virus. So the moment you're forwarded or you open the sites, what happens? A virus get downloaded in your phone. It takes an access to your camera and randomly clicks pictures and morphs it up and puts it up on the porn sites. A lot of these cases are coming up. Remember porn, so to avoid that, avoid this porn sites, because like I said, they are illegal. Okay, so your protection is not guaranteed there. Porn never shows values like trust, respect, consent. When these values are lacking, it becomes a crime. Okay, so another thing is, it can often this videos can lead to addiction. People cannot when they have this addiction, they cannot see the other person ahead with trust. So in order, and help is always available. In order to do that, you can always seek help from practitioners ahead, mental health practitioners ahead. They can help you out with that if some cases do come up like this. So this is how strangers come online. So this girl here thinks that she's talking to a pretty boy of her age. So she is asking the age, and the uncle is saying, "I'm 18." So this boy thinks that he's talking to a girl of his age only. He has a very pretty profile picture on social media. So he wants to do a video call. So he's asking, "Do you have a camera?" The lady cannot say yes, obviously, because she's old. So she says, "No, sorry." Online, if someone is asking a child, or you for that matter, especially an online friend, to keep a secret, let it be between you and me, don't tell everyone, chances are there is something fishy. It is a red flag. Immediately, immediately you need to inform someone. Okay, these are some acronyms used by children when they are around parents or teachers. Okay, GNOC is get naked on camera. PIR is parents in room. 99 parents gone. Let's meet in real life is MIRL. TDTM is talk dirty to me. KPC, keeping parents clueless. WTTP is want to trade pictures, and NSFW is not safe for work. So these are some of the acronyms that their teachers, students often use, or children often use when teachers are around and they want to convey the messages to the person ahead. These are some emojis. Often what happens when usually people are, especially parents and teachers, are not really aware about these emojis. They think that, okay, my child is just talking to someone, because you see this emoji, it seems like a normal emoji to you, but these are very sexually suggestive emojis that children use a lot nowadays. So security is very important when you're dealing with things online. Check for URLs closely. So any URL is sent to you, check for HTTPS. Investigate the source. Okay, who is sending you? Check for the formatting of the message. If there is some error, if it is, then it is a cyber crime. It is sent by a cyber criminal more often than not. Check other sources. So if you get say a message saying that Amazon is having this discount, download this app, just go on the official site of Amazon and check if something like, really something like this is happening. Be skeptical of photos and post also, because what happens nowadays on WhatsApp, someone directly sends you photos, says no hi, no bye, nothing, they don't introduce themselves. Don't download these pictures, because what happens, pictures have a lot of information. They wipe this information out in the background. If you see a picture has the information of when it was clicked, who clicked it, and all, the hackers very wisely wipe this information out and attach the links. So what happens when you're downloading images, the virus is getting downloaded in your phone. So be wary of any images that are sent by any strangers out to you. Like I said, do not share any news that is fake. Okay, no hateful, hurtful, or illegal things to be shared. Share news that is true, helpful, necessary, and responsible. Some things to keep in mind: think before you post, like, share, or subscribe, because like I said, nothing gets deleted. Only connect with friends. Friends are people you know in real life. Be kind towards others. Children need to know this, that they cannot share their passwords with anyone, even with their best friends. But if the child is below 18, then it is crucial that they share their passwords with their parents. uh, Keep your settings private of your social media, so not anyone and everyone can access it. This is how you report a person on WhatsApp. So it's three dot more report, and then nowadays you can even specify why you're reporting for it, and then the person gets reported. Facebook, Instagram, similar thing. If someone is showing sexual content or something that is too violent, then three dots, report and specify why. Snapchat is slightly different. So if I'm harassing you, you have to go on my account, then click on three dots, report and specify why. YouTube is slightly different. On the videos itself, you can click on three dots, report, and you can specify why, and then it gets reported. Reddit and Discord, it is slightly different. You have to go on the official website, fill a form, and then attach the screenshots, and then it gets your request gets submitted, and if they see that the harassment or bullying is actually happening, they delete the accounts. Do not give your any apps. If you download an app, do not randomly just give access to all your contacts or things, because imagine if Zomato is asking for the access of your camera. Think before you download an app, because Zomato doesn't really require the access for your camera. It's just an example, it doesn't ask. So if it is asking for the access of your location, it makes sense because they need to deliver the food, but why camera? So make a point that whenever you're downloading, see where the app is taking access, because then this data usually is exported out and again is sold. Get To avoid children getting involved in any crimes. Okay, make a point that you develop a habit in the home that gadgets are share given to the children in open and shared spaces, like the hall of your home or the drawing room or wherever it is where you are moving around, and you can keep an eye on the child. Set separate safe profiles on your devices for children altogether. Use effective parental control mechanisms with your devices. Okay, use kiddie.com, kindle.com, YouTube Kids as browsers for children. Communicate dangers and threats to cyberspace with them. Just don't give them the phones and be like, eat the food, watch Peppa Pig. Don't do that, really, it's not good. Learn reporting systems online on distress platform, and report aggressively, because until unless you don't report, this criminals won't. Okay. So changes in screens, apps, color, speed, new pop-ups, anything like this, or auto uploads of unusual programs in your phone, then chances are your phone is hacked. Set up antiviruses that are strong and have that cost you a little. Don't take free ones, because all they do is take your data and sell it out, nothing else. Keep strong password, use multi-factor authentication, secure Wi-Fi router passwords, and use parental controls. Okay, to avoid someone hacking in your phone. Set up login alerts. Simple ways, you can just Google it or YouTube it, and they will give you small videos where you can effectively use all these methods. Okay, so these are the punishments. Creating fake profile is 3 years of imprisonment and 2 lakhs of fine. Okay, seeking any information by emails, SMS calls to see for personal informations, so it's 3 years of imprisonment and 2 lakhs of fine. Sharing or posting derogatory words. This is for cyberbullying. It is 3 years of imprisonment and 2 lakhs of fine. Publishing or transmitting obscene material or sexually explicit act, MMS, or even audio clips is 5 to 7 years of imprisonment and 10 lakhs of fine. Stalking with the bad intentions of a person is 3 years of imprisonment and 50 to 70,000 fine. Hacking, stealing data, again is 3 years of imprisonment and 2 lakhs of fine. Child pornography, that if you share or click or just store it in your phone, is up to 7 years of imprisonment and 10 lakhs of fine. Cyber terrorism is a lifetime of imprisonment. So if you see something objectionable online, please do not panic. Take a screenshot and save the URL. You report it on the social media wherever it is, and if it doesn't happen, then approach the local cyber cell with the things, so that you're not uh, uh, you are not pinned down for that thing. Okay, after listening so much about internet may seem like it's a very dark place and children shouldn't be using it, but that's not the case. A lot of children have used internet very positively, like this boy Kicha who has been visiting UK, US, has been making shows with Steve Harvey. He's recognized for his talent, and he has this YouTube channel where he cooks. He's a nice chef. He's just 4 years old. So it's definitely, if children want to pursue a career online, do something of interest, do let them do let them explore, but just assure that these crimes can happen, so they are well protected and made aware about it. Okay, so these are some responsible behavior online: reason thinking, respect, empathy, resilience, and responsibility and law. Definitely. So a link will be sent to you, those who want to download their certificates. Okay, so you can click on this, on that link. This portal will open up. Students can select students, teachers can select teachers, and parents can select parents. Choose a language, enter your details. Channel partner has to be responsible netizen, that is a NGO name. There will be a lot of options. State has to be Goa. Okay, and then a video of 30 seconds will be shown to you. It's a cartoon video of same thing what we talked about today, one or two true or false, and this is how your certificates will look like. So teachers will get cyber smart teachers, and children, if they are applying, it will be cyber smart. So my name is Nikita Goswami. I'm coming from Cyber Wellness Center. We provide free of cost services of counseling, screening treatment, technical support, and education programs here. So you do not have to pay anything. This are helpline numbers. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Goswami, for a wonderful session. It was really insightful, and I'm sure this will help all teachers to guide their students to use social media effectively. Before we move on, participants, if you all have any questions, kindly pose your questions. You can post it in the chat box, or else you can unmute yourself and pose your questions. Participants, any questions?
Okay, I didn't realize my camera was not on. So if you have any questions, please ask me right away. I can answer them. How can we know that our account is hacked? So if your account is hacked, then it won't be under your control. There will be certain uploads that are being made. Suppose it is Instagram. Okay, you won't have access to it because more or less they will change the password. Okay, log you out and change the password. Random messages on your name will be sent to the people in your contacts or people you know. Okay, like I require urgently this money, or so when or I need this help, or you can you come and meet me here, or some pictures, derogatory pictures will be uploaded from your account. So some things like that if happens, then your accounts is hacked. Or if you don't have control over your apps, if you see on your account certain uploads are made of pictures or information that you never shared, then chances are that maybe your account is hacked. Or if it is lagging too much, or there are some changes happening, then you can definitely approach an IT expert, and you mean maybe verify from ask them or verify it with them if you really think then.
हमारी आवाज जा रही है मैम?
Yes.
मैं क्या हिंदी में बोल सकता हूँ?
हाँ जी, बिल्कुल.
मैम आपने बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण प्रेजेंटेशन दी है, बहुत से मैंने पॉइंट्स को आपके नोट किए हैं, बहुत सी महत्वपूर्ण बातें बताई, बहुत सी अगर वो क्या पीपीटी शेयर हो सकता है?
एक्चुअली ये पीपीटी कॉपीराइटेड कंटेंट है हमारे सेंटर का, सो वो शेयर नहीं किया जा सकता.
ओके मैम, इसकी अगर रिकॉर्डिंग हो रही हो, आयोजकों से मेरा अनुरोध होगा कि आप उसका यूट्यूब लिंक शेयर कर दे ताकि और भी लोगों के बीच में इसे प्रसारित कर सकूं.
Sir, we will be posting the YouTube link. We will be uploading this video on the YouTube, and we will post the link on the group as well, so you can have access to it
ओके
later.
सर, ओके
Yeah.
ओके ओके.
Any other questions?
Participants, any more questions? Since there are no questions, we'll move on with the session. Uh, okay, there's a question coming up. Is it possible to track the hacker?
Exactly, we cannot really. If a complaint has been filed and it has been it has been taken a note that they have committed a crime, then definitely you can track the hacker when police is involved. But on your own, without any expertise or being in that field, that is not possible. If small children are more attached to the phone, what to do? Maybe slowly set a time limit. Say, like I said, according to whatever age group they are in, you can set out a time limit. So it's if they are like below 2 to 3, like 1 hour 60 minutes, so or 20 minutes, according whatever age group that you're talking about. So set a time limit, or get them involved in more physical activities or things like that. Yes, there are some cybersecurity acts in India, though not that strong. We are trying to make an appeal. So yes, those things are in the effect. But there are IT acts in place, like for fake accounts and things like that. The ones that I talked about. So yes, there is.
Hello, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes.
This is Suniti Soni from Carmel College.
Yes.
Actually, I have two my kids of my brothers, so they are very small. One is 3 years, one is 4 years. They are so much attached with the phone that they can't even eat without phone. And if we take the phone, they start crying very bitterly. And they watch videos on YouTube in which some have bad languages and some have a very rough voice and all that. So I have locked the YouTube, but still they told their mom to open it, and then watch that only. So how to stop that?
So maybe you can use YouTube for kids. Okay, so what happens with YouTube for kids, all this content is filtered out, and also start setting out a time limit, because as you go ahead, and as it will be very difficult for them to get away from phone. They may even have internet addiction. So depending on how it is, you may definitely call our center, or you can seek the help from a person who is like good with this background. You can take our information and call here and make an appointment if you are really worried, you feel like they cannot get away from their phones. So because at times children have internet addiction, and at that young age I don't think it would be required. You can slowly start introducing getting them more involved in activities like say of football or cricket, or little things like maybe taking to the parks, or more activities like that, creative activities you can give them instead, something that they love. And maybe not suddenly, but slowly maybe you can decrease that.
They don't take my phone whenever I'm at home. Like, I'm very strict to them regarding phones, so they don't take mine. But when I'm not there, mom is there, or their mama is there, or my mom is there. That time they take their phone and they do all that things. So that time I'm worried. Like, I'm in internship or sometimes I'm out, even in college. So they
Yes.
don't take mine. They take mothers and their mom dads.
Yeah, so you have to make them aware about these different threats and how it is unsafe for children, or how it is not appropriate for them to have the devices at their disposal 24 by 7. So maybe then together you can bring it down.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Wonderful session, ma'am. Learned a lot from this.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Is there any cyber security act in India? Is the next question.
Yes, that's what I said. Not a, how would I say, it's like for data protection, yet there is no act. Okay. When you're talking about cybersecurity, there are acts against, fake accounts and things like that. So there are acts, but there needs to be a lot more compared to other countries. When we see America, there is a lot more acts that we need in India. So yes, they are definitely. Pardon? So a lot more acts will be coming in hopefully. But as of now, yes, there are some acts available. The one that I discussed with you just now, those are some few of them. Yes.
Nikita, next question is steps to be taken if account is hacked besides changing the password.
Okay, if your account has been hacked, then you need to reach out to a how what do I say, an IT expert. Okay, because at times you have to report your account to the say social media account on Instagram. Then you have to report them to Instagram, or you have to reach out to an IT expert, because if once the account is hacked, you yourself with no I say internet I mean sorry IT background cannot really get it back. So it is important that you let the person know, like if it is Instagram or WhatsApp, or write an email to them, make aware of them. And especially if they are posting something derogatory on your wall, or from your account reaching out to other people asking money. So suppose your Instagram has been hacked, then you need to go on Facebook and make an announcement that this thing has happened, so people know that it is not really you. So yes. Any other questions?
Thank you, Nikita.
Thank you.
Since we are done with the questions, just announcement. Participants, this video will be available on YouTube channel. You can have access to it, and you can even share with your friends and other teachers. And now I request Dr. Mukta Karamadi, Head of the Department of Psychology, to kindly propose the vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you, Cindy.
Please
Good
all
evening.
camera open, ma'am. Please
Good evening,
all
all.
camera
It's
open.
my
Take
pleasure
any
to
picture.
propose the vote of thanks on behalf of Tempe College of Arts and Science, principal, management, and the staff. I sincerely thank all those who made this webinar a success. First and foremost, I thank the resource person, Ms. Nikita Goswami, for the wonderful presentation, which was very, very informative and insightful. She has given lots of inputs regarding how to be responsible netizens, how to remain cyber safe, as well as how to monitor children to protect them from cyber crime so nicely in a simple language, along with a lot of examples of cases. Thank you very much, Nikita, and we are grateful to you. And
Thank
I
you.
take pride in introducing Nikita again. As she was an alumnus of our Department of Psychology at Tempe College of Arts and Science. Um, so I'm really happy to see you doing such a wonderful presentation, as well as looking at the feedback which is coming in from the participants. Wonderful session, excellent, and all that. I am more than you. I am feeling very happy, I think, Nikita. Okay,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for this informative session.
Thank you so
We are
much.
also grateful to Ms. Shimara Coutinho, in charge of Cyber Wellness Center, Santini Spanajim, for accepting to collaborate with us in organizing this webinar. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank
We
you so
express,
much.
okay. We express our
All
sincere
camera open,
thanks
ma'am.
to all the
All
participants.
camera open. Please take any picture.
Um, just a second, and let me complete and we'll do that. You want to take a picture? Okay. Okay. We express our sincere thanks to all the participants for their active participation. We request you to spread this awareness about cyber safety among your students so that you can save many children from becoming victims of cybercrime. So I am sure that all of you will reach out to thousands of students, and um, the children's safety is the responsibility of us, that is parents and the teachers. So I am sure that you all will do that. I thank our principal, Professor Vrinda Borkar, for her support and guidance. And I thank Dr. Cindy De Silva, who has taken this initiative and put in a lot of efforts to make this webinar a success. Thank you, Dr. Cindy. My sincere thanks to our system admin, Mr. Gaurang Bane, for his technical assistance. And also, I thank all my colleagues in the department who always support in all the departmental endeavors. Thank you, one and all. And again, a kind request to all of you to give the feedback through the feedback link. And just you could all wait for some time and we can take the picture. You can keep your videos on.
Participants, kindly switch your videos on, cameras on. Sorry.